Alright, what is going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be talking about my Motovlog camera setup. And as you can see, obviously I'm not going to be able to ride my motorcycle, so I'm going to be riding this baby. But first, let's roll the intro. It would not feel right if I was talking about my Motovlog setup without at least riding something that got a motor. So if you're thinking about getting into motovlogging, or maybe you already got a GoPro and you're not too sure about the settings that you got to do, this is going to be for you. I have finally dialed in all of the settings, the issues I was running into, and I got it all set up now. I got a new case for my GoPro that houses everything really nice, and it's definitely among the cleanest setup that I think you can do for getting your GoPro attached to your helmet and keeping it all contained. I bought everything that I needed to do it with my Hero 7 Silver, but it just didn't work. So that's the most important thing that you guys got to remember. If you're new to motovlogging, or you're just looking to record audio with your GoPro, for vlogging or whatever else you're doing, the most important thing is having the audio input output setting on your GoPro or on the Insta360s or the DJI action cams. If you don't have that option to be able to switch the microphone on the GoPro to a source like a microphone, then it's not going to work. I had tried this on my Silver and it just didn't work because I didn't have that setting to be able to change that. So I recently got the 8 Black, the Hero 8 Black, and I've been doing some testing and trying to get everything dialed in for motovlogging, and I think I finally got it all figured out. So I'm going to show you guys what the audio settings that you got to run, the video settings that you got to run. It is nothing but ice out here. Obviously going to need a GoPro to do your filming, so the most important thing is that you buy the GoPro Black model. Like I said previously, I had the 7 Silver. Obviously the video quality is excellent, but there's not enough settings to be able to play around and to switch what you need to switch. Changing your white balance, changing your focal length, that gets rid of that fisheye look. You can change your frame rates and your shutter speed. You can change the color profile for color grading and post-production. I don't think there's a lot of motovloggers specifically that do color grading. I don't know why, but I don't think they do anyways. It does. If you do that, it kind of just brings your videos to the next level if you're shooting in the correct frame rates and everything else. So apart from the obvious GoPro that you need, or an action camera, you also need to have the GoPro mic adapter, is what it's called. It's like a little dongle. So without that, you can't connect a microphone directly to your GoPro. I'm pretty sure you were able to do that though on like some of the older models, but with the newer ones, they forced you to buy this new dongle. So it's a little bit of extra cash, but you do what you got to do, right? Apart from obviously the GoPro and the adapter, you're going to need a microphone. I went with the purple Panda microphone, lavalier mic. It's been tried and tested by a handful of other motovloggers out there. One thing to note as well is that you cannot connect your mic directly to the GoPro adapter. You need to have another adapter, which fortunately Purple Panda provides. I'll show you guys all of that once I move into the garage, and I can show you all the settings that I use. And the little adapter pieces that you need, and I'll show you guys all of that now shortly. I'm gonna continue going for a rip, and then I'll see you guys out in the garage. So there's my helmet setup. As you can see, it's probably by far the cleanest setup you can do. Prior to getting the case, I was testing the audio and I had literally taped the adapter to the side of the helmet, but this case from ULANZI allows the adapter to be housed inside. It's made of CNC machined aluminum and could probably survive a car running over it. All of the buttons and mic are accessible, and also allows for ND filters to be attached. An ND filter is basically sunglasses for your camera. The entire setup's a little bulky, but it is really clean. So mounting the GoPro to my helmet, I used the supplied curved mount. I had put a little bit of super glue on the inside here to make sure it's super solid. I obviously put it right on the chin because anything else I think looks kind of funny. I've seen other people, they've put JB Weld, you know, to fill the cracks of the mount, but you know, I use super glue and I feel like that is just as strong. Like, that's not going anywhere. Like, that is super solid. For the excess wire of the mic, I ran it all around the edge. I pulled out the padding and I fit it all along the inside. It can't fall out and it keeps it hidden, so it's nice. You only got this little bit of a wire hanging out here. So for when you're attaching the mic, hang on here. So when you're attaching the mic, you need this other adapter. So like I was saying previously, let me see if I can get it all in frame here. So this is the mic here that leads to the microphone. And as you can see that there's 3 ribs on it, 3 little lines on it. And the adapter that you need, the output is, there's only 2 lines. I have no idea what the reasoning is for that, but I know that without this piece that Purple Panda provides, it will not work. Prior to figuring that out, I was just attaching this directly to the GoPro dongle and it wasn't working. By the way, I'm gonna link all the products down below. They are not affiliate links, so using them won't give me a bonus or you a discount. Being the small YouTuber that I am, most companies have a minimum sub count requirement to be a part of the affiliate program. So if you're not subbed, hit that subscribe button to continue seeing more. Next is a couple settings that I want to just go over to get optimal video. So you want to go into 1080p, 30 frames per second. You can film in 4K. I don't, because 4K takes up a lot of memory space and it'll eat it up pretty quick. And I keep it at 30 to 24 frames per second. If you want to film at 60 or 120 or 240, you can do that, but when you're filming at a higher frame rate, it doesn't allow for a natural motion blur. When you're filming at 24 to 30, it just looks more real. You can see my hand right now, it's just, there's a little bit of a blur to it, and when you film any higher, it just becomes too smooth and it just doesn't become realistic. The only benefit to filming in higher frame rates is if you plan on doing any slow motion sequences, and you can slow it down and it looks really nice. So your lens or focal length is how wide the picture will be. I keep mine as linear, as I prefer not to have the fisheye look. It's kind of a personal preference of how wide you want, but the wider it is, the more distorted the picture is. So you can see right now, you can see my hand there in the background, but when you go to linear, you can't see that, and you can kind of see it with the helmet as well, see? It looks kind of funny there. So this, I prefer linear, like I said. It's a lot nicer. So for hyper smooth, I just keep it on the on position. If you go any higher, it tends to crop the image a little bit too much. Any of these settings you don't have to worry about. So keep your bitrate the standard. For shutter speed, I got 1/60. The general rule of thumb is that double it on your frame rate. So I'm shooting at 30 frames per second, so I'm going to keep it at 1/60. If you're shooting at 60 frames per second, you're going to want to go up to, oh, I'm going the wrong way. You're going to want to go over to 1/120, and you can kind of see how it changes the picture, how it got a lot darker. Your white balance for shooting outside in warm sunny days, you're going to keep that between 5,000 to 6,000 K. ISO 100, ISO max around 400. You don't want to go any higher than that. Or sharpness, you want to keep it on medium. So for your color profile, you want to switch it from the GoPro standard to just flat. Like I had shown earlier, this just allows for a little bit more flexibility when it comes to post-production work, and that's about it. I don't have the mics or nothing connected right now, so I cannot access the audio settings, but for the wind noise, you want to just turn that off. You don't want to have the GoPro trying to filter out the wind noise. It does a really shitty job of it. And for mics, you just click on it and you click on the first option, which is, I believe it's standard non-powered. And you just click that and then you're good to go. Then you'll be able to start recording, set up your motovlog setup, and you'll be good to go. So that's it. There's my motovlog setup, along with the gear and knowledge of setting up your own motovlog camera, along with a few tweaks in the GoPro to optimize your footage. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If you got something useful out of this video, hit that like button. If you're curious about anything or have any problems with your own setup, drop it in the comments below. So until next time, ride safe.